Let's start with the prayers. Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunayama Devaha Bhadram Pashe Makshabhiryajatraha Stirairangaihi Stuštuvagam Sastanobihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuho Swasti na Indro Vriddasravaha Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastaksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadato Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Today we start the Mandukya Upanishad study. This Shanti Mantra is common to all the Atharvana Veda Upanishads. This is a prayer to the Lord to make us hear good things, see good things, auspicious things, so that we can sing the praise of the Lord, so that we have the time to praise the Lord. And it is this Lord who gives us the pure knowledge about ourselves. He protects us in this spiritual nature of ours. And we pray for the peace of the mind. That is, in short, the meaning of this Shanti Mantra. I have circulated this 12 mantras of Mandukya Upanishad, chanting by Swami Paramatmananda. For those who want to learn this entire set of verses by heart, you can use that chanting audio circulated on the WhatsApp. The meanings of these words are also given here for a quick summary if you want to revise what this Upanishad consists of. Whenever we come to Upanishads, we must understand that these are all the words of the Lord who is trying to convey to us who we are. Upanishads are studied with the help of a guru who knows the meaning of the words of the scriptures, the intent of the scriptures, and who has got the ability to convey to others. There are 12 primary Upanishads which we all study in our spiritual program. And there are important sentences which are called as Mahavakyas, which primarily talk about the oneness of the indweller in this body, the Jiva, with the creator of this whole universe, the one who projects this entire universe for all the human beings. There is one commonness between them, and that is conveyed through a Mahavakya. There are several Mahavakyas in the Upanishads. There were 1,200 Upanishads in the past. And almost like 300 Upanishads are still available for us to know what the Upanishad contents are. There are several books which are available in the internet. which gives the mantras of those Upanishads. About 300 of them you will be able to locate. 108 Upanishads is where you will find some commentaries are available. Out of 108 Upanishads, 12 Upanishads where you will find Shankaracharya's commentaries. When we study the Mahavakyas, it takes us into contemplation of our true nature. There are 4 types of Mahavakyas. One is called as Lakshana Vakya. Lakshana means definition. It defines the truth. Prajnanam Brahma. This is from Aitareya Upanishad, from Rig Veda. For those who have done the Upanishads, this is just a recall. Prajnanam means consciousness. Is Brahman. Chaitanyam is Brahman. Awareness is Brahman. That awareness is in me and it is in the whole universe. My entire study is to locate, to identify this awareness in me. So when a student goes to a teacher, this is the Vakya which is given to him. The student understands that there is something called as awareness. There is something called as Prajnanam. There is something called as knowledge. And that is my search. Then after this is taught to the student, the next Vakya is Upadesha Vakya. This comes in Chandogya Upanishad, which is from Sama Veda. Tattvamasi. This is the most famous of all the 4 Vakyas, Tattvamasi. 9 times the Guru tells the student that you are that, you are that, you are that. Very systematically, the Guru teaches the student what you are not. And he says, you are this Atma. You are that awareness principle. The highest in this creation is this consciousness, which is what is my search. After listening to these 2 Vakyas, the student is got the assimilation and he contemplates these 2 Vakyas in his own mind. When he does that, he realizes, I am Atma Brahma. This is from Mandukya Upanishad, from Atharvana Veda. There are 4 Vedas, Rig, Sama, Atharvana, Yajur. So 1200 Upanishads, you can segregate them into 4 Vedas. I told you in my website, you can find the detailed classifications of about 200-300 Upanishads. If you go to the website, you will find the classifications of what are the Yajurveda Upanishads, what are the Rig Veda Upanishads, what are the Sama Veda Upanishads. And in India, there were certain groups who were asked to preserve those Vedas. So there were 4 types of groups. Each one was allocated a certain Veda, portion of the Veda to safeguard and teach. And even till today, you will find that there are some people who are Sama Vedins, some people who are Rig Vedins. If you go back to your forefathers, you will understand from which Veda you have come. All Hindus have come, their forefathers have chanted some of these mantras, and therefore it becomes our tradition and our culture. So this Ayam Atma Brahma means this Atma is Brahman. When the student understands this, this is not with reference to anything outside, but it is his own experience. That what is in me as my intrinsic nature is the substratum or the adhishtanam for this entire universe. This is a very, very famous Mahavakya, Ayam Atma Brahma, which comes in Mandukya Upanishad, which is the Upanishad for our study this time. The fourth mantra is called as Mahavakya, is called as Anusandhana Vakyam. This is for contemplation, nididhyasana. After all this is done, when the student has realized it, he still finds that there are some times he slips away from his real nature of Atma. And to those students who slip away, it is called as nididhyasana. And Aham Brahmasmi is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. This is from Yajurveda. So once we have done these contemplation of 4 Mahavakyas, this is the final ultimate teaching of the Vedas. And this is what is taught by a guru. Now, I have taught you all these 4 Veda mantras. Go and contemplate, remove the wrong notions in your mind that you are the body or the mind. That notion you learn to drop, and you live your life as pure Sakshi, pure Atma, as the witness of this body and mind. When a student lives like that, he is supposed to be a Jivan Mukta. He is a Moksha Purushartha. He has achieved the Moksha Purushartha. He has attained the ultimate goal of the Vedas. And once this is done, this is what I was trying to explain to you. The Upanishads are divided into Atharvana Vedas, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Rig Veda. There are 4 Upanishads out of the 12 Upanishads which we study, which comes under Atharvana Veda. The 4 Upanishads are Kaivalya, Prashno, Mundak, Mandukya. Yajurveda Upanishads, they are divided into 2 sections. One is called as Krishna Yajurveda. There are 2 schools. One school is called Krishna Yajurveda. And under Krishna Yajurveda, there are Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Svetasvatara Upanishad. Then the second section of Yajurveda is Shukla Yajurveda. These are just different sections. There are very small differences in their thought process. Ishavasya Upanishad and Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which is supposed to be a commentary on Ishavasya Upanishad, they come under Shukla Yajurveda. Samaveda, which is sung in a form, metrical form, which can be sung. Samaveda is Chandogya Upanishad and Keno Upanishad. Rig Veda is Aitareya Upanishad. So these are the 12 Upanishads which we normally study. And I would like to present and revise this Om chart. I have done this several times in the Bhagavad Gita sessions and also in the other Upanishad sections. Once again, I would like to revise this because Om is the ultimate essence which is described in this Om chart. Om. This chart is designed by Swami Chinmayananda, and there are so many teachers who have used the same chart to express and to teach the Bhagavad Gita as well as the Upanishads. This is a beautiful chart because it tells us what is the goal. What is the human goal? What am I searching for? We are all searching for fulfillment in life. We are not happy with our current circumstances, be it with reference to the body or be it with reference to our mind or the external situations which we face. So we all have a feeling of non-fulfillment in life. At the same time, we also feel that there is something in this world which I need to know. Which I'm sure that it exists and it will give me fulfillment by knowing that. So these limitations are removed when we come to know what is described as Om. In the Vedas, Om has got a very, very significant meaning, and especially in Mandukya Upanishad, this Upanishad gives the highest knowledge of Omkaraha, the highest. That is one of the reasons I decided to use this chart, because Om is the goal. Whenever we are doing a spiritual study, the goal is Om. Whether we understand or not doesn't matter, but that is our goal. What does this Om represent? Om represents the peace of mind. Om represents the ultimate essence, which is called as, you can name it as in different ways. We call it Purusha, we call it Brahman, we call it God. In religion, we call it God. In philosophy, we call it Brahman. So different names are given to it, but it is the supreme consciousness, which is the pure being in this whole universe. The cosmos is nothing but a pure being. It's a dynamic being which has got everything in it. It has got all knowledge in it. It has got all the power in it. So Om represents nothing but the phenomenal power which is there in the universe, the light of the universe. It has got the knowledge of the universe. It is the light of all lights. It is described in so many ways. It is said that the Lord created this entire universe chanting Om. And we will see the special significance of this word Om as the substratum of this Jagrat. Now, that is the goal. Now, what are we as individuals? This chart here is a chart which represents today who we are. What we are essentially is a bundle of vasanas, likes and dislikes, which is there in an unmanifest form in the Karana Sharira. So as a jiva, who is a jiva? Who am I? If you ask anybody, it will be just a description of his ego. And this is nothing else but vasanas, the habits, the thoughts in the mind, which one entertains. The likes and dislikes, that's all. Today, what we know about ourselves is, I see this body, I know I am aware of my mind, that's all. There is nothing more I know about myself. So the vasanas in us, the vasanas are impressions in an unmanifest form, and that is called as prakriti, or it's also called as maya when it is taken in a total sense. It is unmanifest. This is unmanifest means I can't see this impressions in me. I can't see these likes and dislikes. It is there. But that is what makes me today who I am. I have to cross this vasanas and know who I am by knowing I am Om. If somebody says before spiritual study, we are this vasanas. I am identified with this vasanas as myself. But after spiritual study, I should say I am nothing but Om. Especially after Mandukya study, it should be very clear to us that I am not this body or mind, but I am the pure consciousness, which is described in the Mandukya Upanishad in the 7th mantra. My description of Om is there in the 7th mantra. I am that. That is my real identity. That is my real home. The body, mind, and intellect, these are Upadhis. Upadhi means it is a medium of transaction. It is an instrument. Like I have a car, I have a house, I use a mobile phone to contact my friends. Similarly, I use this body, mind, and intellect to contact the world. It is an instrument, it is an upadhi. It is called as pramanam. Physical body is known to all of us. The mind is also known. Intellect is also known to us. The vasanas are unknown, but they come and they manifest. Again, they become unmanifest. When they come and they become manifest, events are caused in our life. Again, they become unmanifest. Again, we have a regular life. Again, suddenly the events happen, big events. I'm talking about big events. All these events are nothing but karma phalams coming to us in this body. So this interaction of the body, mind, and intellect with the world outside, which is called as OET, objects, emotions, and thoughts. This interaction with the objects is called as vyavahara. When this interaction happens, we get our result of past actions. Whatever actions we are doing today, it will give us some result in the future. Suppose I study for a program, a PhD program or an MA program or any college program. I will get the result after 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So similarly, actions which we do through our body today, it can cause punyam or papam, merit or demerit. The results may come in this birth, it may not come in this birth, it may come in the next birth. So when the physical body perceives the object, then I become the physical entity. When the mind has feelings of emotions, I become a feeler. So I interact at the physical level, I interact at the mental level, 2 levels. The third level is when I use my intellect. These, like I said before, these are my instruments. And OET is the office. I operate, the BMI is the instrument. I use this to contact the external world of objects. When I interact, I have emotions. I have thoughts in the intellect. So intellect, when I use it, I am called as a thinker. So when I use the physical body, I am a perceiver through my sense organs. When I use my mind, I become a feeler of emotions. When I use my intellect, I am a thinker and I have thoughts. Through these three instruments, I conduct all the interactions in the world. They are not me, they are not mine. It belongs to Ishvara. Body is not me, mind is not me, the intellect is not me. They belong to Panchabhutas. Panchabhutas are under control of Ishvara. The BMI is called as Pramanam instrument. The perceiver, feeler, thinker is the ego. Together it is called as the ego I, which is called as Pramata. Karta Bhokta. When I use my organs of action, I am called as Karta, doer of actions. I enjoy the results of actions. That time I become a Bhokta. When I use my sense organs, that means eyes, ears, and nose, and the organs of knowledge, I am a Jnata, I am a knower. The objects which are there outside are called as Prameyam. So I am the Purusha, the Om, which is reflected in this body in the form of Chidabhasa. That Chidabhasa, that reflection is there in the Vasanas. Through these Vasanas, I use the three instruments called as the physical body, mind, and instrument. Go through the interactions in the world. This is called as life. The whole life is there in this chart. And that is a Shakti. How does all this happen? It happens because of a Shakti, a power. We have three powers in us. Power to know, Ichha Shakti, power to desire, Kriya Shakti, power to act, Jnana Shakti, knowing power. So we have this Shakti in us. This Shakti belongs to some higher principle which I don't know. I have a speaking power. You have a listening power. That power does not belong to the body. It belongs to Ishvara. The ear of the ear, the eye of the eye, is that Ishvara. That power rests in that Om. So our search is for this Omkara. And what is the significance? Omkara is the essence of Mandukya Upanishad. This chart is, you can go through this chart. It also explains to us the symbol of Om, how it depicts the entire cosmos. What we saw in the earlier chart was the individual. Here we can see a slightly elaborated version of it. A-U-Ma. A stands for the waking state. U stands for the dream state. Ma stands for the sleep state. You can go through this slide yourself. The waking state, the dream state, the sleep state, and then the dot which is there on the top, that is called as Turiyam. That is called as the ultimate reality. Absolute reality. That is the ultimate Turiyam. The silence between the two Oms represents this dot. That is what we do in our meditation. When we chant Om, we go through this meaning in our own mind. That Om stands for, ultimately, it stands for the absolute state, which is called as Sakshi. Sakshi means, with reference to the three states, it is the observer, the consciousness principle. They all go through these three states. They all come and go for us. Waking, dream, and sleep, it is an automatic thing for each one of us in our life. Right from our childhood till today, we have been having these three states. This human body is designed for the three states of experiences. Nobody can come out of these three states. All birds also have the same states. Animals go through the same sleep state as we all do. And this represents the ultimate Om, which is the ultimate essence behind this creation. We'll see how to come to reach this Om. It's very, very beautiful, very, very, very significant in its meaning. I always come back to this definition of Atma. I use this in almost all my study groups. Atma kaha. This is the fundamental definition of Atma. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktat Panchakosha Vyatiriktat Avastatraya Sakshi Sachidananda Swarupaha San Yat Tishtati Sa Atma. If somebody asks the question, who am I? You should say, you are Atma. What is this self? Now, the teacher says, the self is other than the gross body, the three bodies. This is the basic definition of Atma we should all remember. Anytime you want to sit in contemplation, in meditation, this is the verse you should use. And this is the verse can take you directly to the ultimate essence, which is called as Om. And this is how every student starts his study, the spiritual study. I am not the three bodies. The bodies are mediums. The gross body, subtle body, causal body. These three are mediums in which I operate in the world. I am not the five sheets. I am not the five koshas. Kosha means dress. I am the indweller soul who wears this dress of the physical body in the waking state. I wear the dress of the mental mind, the mental body, the subtle body to experience the dream. I wear the dress of Karana Shariram in the sleep state to rest. Who am I? I am Atma, not any of these three states. I'm not the five sheets. The five sheets have been described in Taittiriya Upanishad as the five koshas. Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha. Five kosh, five dresses. So we have to go slowly, we have to remove one by one the dresses. So if I want to reach my original nature, the Atma, I have got three paths or three routes which the Guru teaches me. Either I can take the bodies and come out and say I am the Atma, discard the gross body, subtle body, and the causal body, reach Atma. I can go through the five koshas, drop the five koshas and reach Atma. And lastly, the third route is I can go through the three states of experiences, the three states of consciousness, to know my real nature as Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means pure existence, Chit means pure consciousness, and bliss means that limitless self. Without the limitation of the body, of the time, without being affected by space, without being affected by the objects in creation. That is what is called as Atma. In Mandukya Upanishad, we are going to focus on the three states of consciousness. In Taittiriya Upanishad, we focus on the 5 koshas. Kaivalya Upanishad also focuses on the 3 states of consciousness. Chandogya Upanishad also has got a section which is called as Prajapati Vidya. And in that 8th chapter of Chandogya Upanishad, the 6th chapter is the Brahma Vidya, the 7th chapter is Bhuma Vidya, the 8th chapter is Prajapati Vidya, which is called as the same analysis which we do here is also done there in Chandogya Upanishad. Prashna Upanishad also has Omkara in it. Omkara has been is commonly used in so many Upanishads. So coming back to the 3 states is what is our focus in the definition of Atma. What is Mandukya Upanishad? What does it consist of is explained in this chart. 4 prakaranams means 4 chapters are there in Mandukya Upanishad. This Upanishad is the smallest of all the Upanishads. It's got only 12 mantras. But there is a Karika, a commentary written on this mantra. We'll see about that Karikas later, but just give you a broad guideline of what this whole Upanishad is. Agama Prakranam is the first chapter. It has got the 12 mantras and then it has got 29 Karikas, means 29 commentaries on those 12 mantras. Similarly, the second chapter is called as Vaitatya Prakranam. 38 Karakas are there, 38 verses are there in the second chapter, and the second chapter deals with the unreality of the cosmos. In Vivek Chudamani, we have a full analysis of what is real and what is unreal. That is expanded, that is commented here in this 38 Karikas. And we use the Shruti. Shruti means the Veda. We use logic, which is Yukti. And we use Anubhava, experience, our own experience, to say that what we experience is false. It is an appearance. This experiencer consciousness is real. I am the experiencer, the pure Chaitanya. The more I hear and know about this pure consciousness, the more I will be able to drop this sense that I am the body, the sense I am the mind, the sense that I am the intellect. These 3 are there in this body. Along with these 3 instruments, there is a Chaitanyam. There is a principle called as awareness, consciousness. So we are a mixture of consciousness and the instrument. What the Veda teaches me is that the instruments do not have an independent existence. They are coming into existence and they become unmanifest. Manifest, unmanifest is the reality of this world, but that is not the ultimate reality. What I experience is these two things. The world comes in the waking state, the world disappears in the sleep state. Again, it comes in the waking state, again, it disappears. But all this is happening where? What is the covering? Everything is happening in only one consciousness. That consciousness is me. With reference to that consciousness principle, I can easily say the world which I experience, world means body, mind, and all the objects which we experience through the body and mind. So the definition of Jagat should be very clear in our mind. Jagat includes my body and my mind also. I have to step back from this body to understand the nature of consciousness. That is the second chapter, where we will see in a nutshell how to look at the world as an appearance. The third chapter is called as Advaita Prakranam. Advaita Prakranam is a beautiful section where it talks about only one reality, which is called as Brahman, which is, you can call it as Sakshi, you can call it Brahman. There are different, these are all technical terms. And here it logically proves that this consciousness is the substratum in which the entire waking, dream, and sleep come and go. And it doesn't, these three states do not have an independent existence. They all depend on this consciousness. It's logically proved, because when we see the world as an appearance, as an illusion, no illusion can be there without a substratum. And the support for all these experiences which we have is this consciousness. I can negate everything and everyone in the creation, but I cannot negate myself. That self which I can never negate, is called as pure existence or pure consciousness. And that is the one in which the entire universe is coming and going. Very beautiful section which is called as Advaita Prakaranam. And the last 100 verses are of this Mandukya Upanishad is called as Alatashanti Prakram. And here it just gives us an example of how an agarbatti, which when it is rotated in a dark night, where there are no other lights except the agarbatti. Agarbatti means the incense stick which we use, we rotate it. When we rotate the incense stick, we see some pattern. Now that pattern is exactly the same thing which is happening in our mind. When the mind is having thoughts after thoughts after thoughts, what happens is it appears to be like a continuous life which is going on. Yesterday I had certain thoughts. Today my thoughts continue. Again tomorrow the same thoughts will again, I will expand on them. It is a continuous experience of thoughts after thoughts after thoughts throughout our life. This thought pattern in us is compared to a torchlight, like an agarbatti or incense stick, which is a continuous motion. This thought motion is an apparent motion in consciousness. That motion is called as an illusion. The whole world of perceptions. The entire world enters my mind in the form of vrittis, thoughts. When I see a tree outside, the tree outside is coming into my mind, and I am the perceiver of that mind, which has got the tree in a thought form. So all perceptions are nothing else but thoughts in motion in the house of consciousness, awareness. I am aware. So every time, whenever I am listening to something, you're listening to this talk, you should say, I am aware that I am listening. I am aware that I am walking. I am aware that I am seeing. So awareness is common in all our transactions. I need to know what is this awareness. Awareness never leaves us. Awareness is constant. Tomorrow morning when I get up from sleep, I will be aware. Tonight when I go to sleep, I am aware. I am aware all the time. Even in sleep, I'm aware, but my mind is not functioning. That awareness, in which all the vrittis are coming and going, is my goal of this study. During this program, we will be doing the 12 mantras. We will not go into the depth of the 215 Karikas, because that will take at least 2 to 3 years for us to study. If we do once a week, 215 Karikas will take us at least 3 to 4 years. But I will try to give you a gist of it. For those of you who are interested, Mandukya Upanishad is this study which we are planning. Is a basic study of this Upanishad. But if you want to go into deeper aspects of the same Mandukya, there is Chandogya Upanishad, the chapter 8, Prajapati Vidya. We can do that. I will see if I can just bring some notes and share it with you at the end of this Mandukya Upanishad. Some sections of Chandogya Upanishad, I will see if I can get some notes and share again. Then there is a very, very advanced text called as Vichara Sagara, which is a very, very deep text on this Mandukya Upanishad. There are 7 chapters in Vichara Sagara. The 6th chapter of Vichara Sagara is the full analysis. I have not come across any other text on the Mandukya Upanishad which has got so much of analysis as the 6th chapter of Vichara Sagara. It's a mind-boggling analysis and very, very logical, but difficult to accept. But if our intellect can accept it, we have reached the final goal. It is an aid. Like we study this to understand our nature as this pure consciousness. Then I study the Prajapati Vidya. Then I'm telling you in the same area of the analysis of the 3 states of consciousness. And this Vichara Sagara is the 6th chapter, is the ultimate in the study of the 3 states of consciousness. If it is possible, I will try to share some notes of the Vichara Sagara. You will find in the website some of the notes already coming in, but the 6th chapter notes are yet to be loaded up. But I might make some new notes. If there is interest in this group, I will take it up. Okay. Now, let us see a little bit deeper aspect of this Upanishad. Avastatraya Viveka. This chart I have taken from Mandukya Upanishad textbook, which has been a commentary by Swami Chinmayananda. This is taken from that book. This chart is from that book because it beautifully explains to us the whole analysis of the three states of consciousness. If you understand this chart, then you will be able to understand the 12 mantras. These 12 mantras are extremely deep in their significance, very, very deep. And in order to understand this, we must also learn to bring these ideas in our contemplation. I will see if it's possible to do a 10-minute or a 15-minute meditation sessions during this course. If you would like to have it, you can write to me or just tell me. Then depending on the response, then I will take up the 10-minute or 15-minute meditation sessions at the end of the sessions. For those who are interested, if there is enough response, then I will just take up a few sessions of contemplations on these mantras and trying to realize. For those who find it difficult to do contemplation, then this sessions of 10-minute sessions of meditation can be useful. So please write to me at the end of today or tomorrow through WhatsApp. Just send us your interest. There are some people who are listening to this. If there is interest, enough interest, I will take it up from the next session. Okay, A, U, Ma. These are the three matras of Omkaraha. The letter A can be used by two entities. One is called as microcosm and the second is macrocosm. Microcosm means vyashti, individual. This chart is quite simple. So if you understand this, then it will be useful for meditations. And ultimately, they say when you meditate, you can realize this pure nature. Microcosm is the vyashti. So A, the letter A in Om, A letter, that you say that refers to the baker. I, the consciousness, have got three levels: waker, dreamer, sleeper. These are the three states in which I am. The letter A stands for the waker in me. The letter U stands for the dreamer. The letter M stands for the deep sleeper. And when I chant the word Om, in my mind, I should say Om stands for the three states of consciousness: waking state, dream state, and sleep state. And then I stop chanting Om. Then there is silence. That silence is represented by a matra. A matra means Atma, Brahman, Turiyam. That you can see at this here. A matra means that silence. That silence represents awareness. Chant Om, keep silent. Let the mind be silent. Again chant Om, again be silent. That silence which you can experience between the two sounds of Om is the reality, is our true nature. Without any identifications with the body or mind or the intellect or the world, that silence, whatever it is you experience, all of us can experience this. Not difficult. It is possible, and this is called as the Turiyam. This is called as the fourth state which I never knew this state as my real state. That is what is Mandukya Upanishad trying to reveal to us the silence in which all the states are coming and going, the peace, the joy, the bliss in which all these three states are coming and going, that if I am attached to and drop the identification with the waker or the dreamer or the sleeper, I have attained the goal of the Vedas. Very, very beautiful, very, very powerful teaching. And it's possible to do this Om meditation. As a waker, I am related to the totality, which is called as Vaishwanara, macrocosm. For example, I am breathing air. This air which I breathe is a part and parcel of the total air principle in the cosmos. The water I drink is a part and parcel of the total water principle in the entire cosmos. The body is surviving because of the five elements. The five elements are nothing but also expanded, pervaded in the entire cosmos as the Vaishwanara, which is called as Virat. Virat means the totality. Virat is an Ishvara. Virat Ishvara. We call it Virat Ishvara, Devata. So in this body, there is an individual. In the totality, that individual is called as Virat Purusha. That is the physical part. As a waker, I am identified with the gross body. The gross body of the cosmos is called as Virat. So in the waking state, I am the waker. I am called as waker Vishwa. And I experience the Virat, which is the total cosmos. And when I experience this, this is called as Bahish Prajna. Bahish Prajna means outer consciousness. Prajna means consciousness. There is consciousness with reference to the body. We can call it as outer consciousness. The same consciousness, when I experience my thoughts, it is called as inner consciousness, Antar Prajna. So, Bahish Prajna, Antar Prajna. In the dream state, I am experiencing the internal mind. That consciousness which illumines my dream is called as Antar Prajna. And the same consciousness becomes a homogeneous mass of ignorance in the sleep state. Sushupti avastha, one mass. It is ignorant mass. That is called as Maya. That Shakti in which all the perceptions in the thought form, it goes into the Karana avastha, that is called as the Prajna, the deep sleeper, and the name of that holder of all this perception is Ishvara. So in the sleep state, there is only Ishvara. There is no separate entity called as Jiva or Prajna, but everything becomes Ishvara. One mass of consciousness, which is called as the Karana Prapancha. So those who have done the Tattvabodha, you can see how we are using the Tattvabodha, the basic lessons of Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram in this Mandukya Upanishad. So Shankaracharya was brilliant in writing the Tattvabodha book to make us understand and reach this level of Mandukya. So as a sleeper, I am one with the Creator. This is the most important lesson which we should learn from Mandukya Upanishad. The sixth mantra of Mandukya Upanishad is the proof that all of us are one with the Creator in sleep. You can study the sixth mantra very carefully. You will come to this conclusion, but you have to believe this. You have to say that Shruti will not tell me a lie. It will tell me the truth. And the truth is, I am one with the substratum. I'm one with the Creator. Even today when I sleep, I am one with the Creator. I don't have any doubt of that. After listening to the sixth verse of this Upanishad, we should not have a doubt. From that Ishvara comes the waker, and from that Ishvara comes the dreamer. Into that Ishvara goes back the dreamer and the waker. I realize this right now while living. And I am free from identification with the body and mind as me. This is the knowledge. This is the essence of Mandukya Upanishad. This is the joy which you get out of realization of the mantras on this 12 mantras. As a waker, my enjoyment, bhoga, is gross. Gross food, gross movies, what we see, these are all sight, gross things. In the dream state, it is all subtle bhoga. And in the sleep state, it is happiness. Homogeneous mass which we experience in sleep is the joy of happiness, but it has got some covering. That feeling is there of my nature. Therefore, this joy is not the joy of Turiya. The joy of Turiya is I am limitless. Limitless means this consciousness awareness principle is not affected by time. That is the most important fact we should understand. The world comes and goes, but it does not affect the consciousness at all. There is something immortal in this body. That immortal aspect of this body is called as consciousness. Then in the last column, it says, how do I meditate? In meditation, I can use the right eye, the place of meditation, the right eye, I can use it as a waker. It's just a location. The mind can be used as a place to meditate on the dreamer. And the heart, the physical heart, can be used as the place of meditation for the sleeper. I am not the waker, I am not the dreamer, I am not the deep sleeper. So this Upanishad uses the negation principle. It tells me what I am not, and then it tells me, it leaves a room totally open to know who I am, which cannot be expressed in the form of words. It is only your own understanding of your true nature. That understanding is called as realization. So in the seventh mantra of Mandukya Upanishad, it will say, Na bahish pragyam, that means it is not the outer consciousness in the waking state. It is not the inner consciousness which is there in the dream state. It is not the homogeneous mass of consciousness which I experience in the sleep state, but it is Turiyam, Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam. These are all the words which are used. We will see the meanings of these words when we do the seventh mantra, but this is the overall scheme of things by which we understand this entire Upanishad. So If you have any questions on this chart, please feel free to ask me. And these 4 states are called as padas. Padas means padas of the self. These are the legs. The 4 legs ultimately is only one leg in final, which is the Turiya. Waker is one leg, one pada. Taijasa is the second pada, the dreamer. The deep sleeper is the third leg, the third pada. So what we understand from this Upanishad is, in order to know who I am, I cannot analyze my waking state and say, this is me. Only if I do that, I will not reach the truth. So I have to use all the 3 states of experiences and then realize the substratum. What do you mean by substratum is, for example, all the things which I experience in the dream, the substratum for that is the waker. The moment the dream goes away, I wake up from dream, means what? I become the waker automatically. I realize I'm the waker. So similarly, I drop my identification as a waker and then I realize who I am. I am the Atma. That Atma is called as Turiyam. That Atma is called as the ultimate essence. So if you like this presentation today, then you can see and you can go through the aspects of the 12 mantras and realize our true nature. Now we look at the first chapter, which is called as Agama Prakranam. I will explain to you this slide and I will stop today. Agama Prakranam, Agama means Veda. It talks about the Veda, which has got 12 mantras and 29 Karikas. Chatushpat Atma Vichara and Chatur Matra Omkara Vichara. 2 types of inquiries we have to do. In this Upanishad, 2 types of inquiries. Verse number 1 talks about what is the type of inquiry I should conduct myself. So the Upanishad is teaching me how I should try to learn about my real nature. First, I understand what are the 4, what is the type of Atma it is. Second, I try to understand what is Omkara, how to analyze Omkara. Verse number 3 to 7, there are 5 verses. That is the heart of the whole Upanishad. Waker I, dreamer I, sleeper I. Verse number 3 talks about the waker. In the waker, in the waking state, the individual is called as Vishwa. Try to become familiar with these 6 names. The 6 names are Vishwa Virat, Taijasa Hiranyagarbha, Prajna and Ishwar. So verse number 4 talks about the dreamer. 5 and 6 talk about the Ishwar. Verse number 8 to 12 is Omkara Vichara. Verse number 9 talks about Amatra. Verse number 10, Umatra. 11 talks about Mamatra. And the last one is Amatra. This is the entire Upanishad of 12 verses. So 2 verses talks about what vichara we should do, what is the inquiry. 5 verses talk about Atma Vichara. 5 verses talk about Omkara Vichara. See how beautifully this is structured. Amazing structure. Very, very beautiful. So we will continue with this slide next week. There will be some more introduction to this Mandukya Upanishad, which we'll see next week. So here we will stop today, and if you have any questions so far, I'll be able to, I'll try to answer them. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachade Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyade. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. You can post your questions on the chat board. I can see there are some questions here. Some people have said they would like to have a meditation. Balaji is saying that. Okay, Ramesh also wants it. Okay, kindly elaborate on the meaning of prajna. Prajna means consciousness. Sthita prajna. You know, we have learned sthita prajna in Bhagavad Gita. So, prajna means consciousness. It means awareness. We will be studying this a little bit more in detail when we do the 7th mantra of this particular Upanishad, which will describe the definition of this prajna. What is this prajna will be described, will be defined in the 7th mantra of Mandukya. But just to note at this stage, you see, the eyes are able to see. The ears are able to hear. The skin is able to feel the touch. The nose is able to smell. The tongue is able to taste. Now, all these are 5 sense organs. But they have one thing which is called as the knowledge principle, that awareness principle in each one of them. It is consciousness. That is what is called as prajna. Prajna means awareness. I am aware, I am seeing this beautiful tree, this beautiful scene. So awareness means prajna is common. In seeing there is prajna, in hearing there is prajna. I am listening to fantastic music, very melodious music. So here, prajna means consciousness. For example, I taste various things. So I am aware, that means I am aware, I am tasting. So always try to remember, first I am aware, and then only the taste comes, the sight comes, the sound comes. So awareness is common in all of them. That is what is called as prajna. And when I say my awareness is sthiram, means sthira prajna, when I become a jnani, first of all, when I am not aware of this awareness principle in me, I am ajnani. Only when I come to the study of Bhagavad Gita, without the study, we are just normal human beings. We just go through our motions of life, and then we pass our whole life. See? And um, okay, so that is, I think I've answered the question of prajna very well as of now. So that is, prajna means consciousness, awareness. That awareness is common for all the five sense organs. Always remember, I am awareness first. As soon as I get up in the morning, I am aware. Then I'm conscious of the mind. Then I become conscious of the sense organs. Then through the sense organs, I become aware of the external world. That awareness is Om. The ultimate meaning of Om is prajna. Is that clear? I think in case it's not clear, you can ask me. Okay, then there's so many questions today. But generally, I think I can see that many people are interested in the meditation session. So next week onwards, we will have the meditation sessions. At the end of the talk, I will have a 10-minute session where I will slowly bring in this topic of consciousness, so that each one of you can realize in your own self how to drop the body and the mind and realize I am pure consciousness. That is the goal of this meditation sessions. We will start next week. I will stop the class after 1 hour. Exactly at 1 hour, I'll stop. Around 10 minutes, I will take a small meditative sessions. It will be going straight to the topic of what we are discussing. I want each one of you to drop the identification with the body and the mind. That is the goal. So we'll try and see how to do it. And then later on, when we do the Omkara meditation, when we do the Omkara study, I will also bring the Omkara into meditation. This Vichara Sagara text has got Omkara meditation, which is a very deep meditation, but I will just introduce the topic so that each one of you can continue the study and then slowly try and get to the root of that whole process of meditation. Okay, let me just go through the rest. Okay, the BMI chart was useful to some. Meditation, yes. Om is very powerful, extremely powerful in meditation. I will conduct next week will be the Om meditation, where I will chant Om, I will stop, again chant Om. That will be the next meditation, because that is the start of this whole process of Omkara meditation. Elaborate on the, okay. Is there any relation of sacred sound of Om with the 7 chakras? Yes, there is some relationship is there between the sound Om and the chakras. Chakras are also another form of meditation only, where you take the awareness principle to the different parts of the body. It is very similar, but there is no, there are different ways in which we can do meditation. Here we are doing the sound meditation. It is there also in chakra meditation, there are certain sounds which are there. Rhyme, there are so many sounds which are there taught in chakra meditation. Chakra meditation has got several aspects in it. But of course, my focus here in Mandukya is not the chakra meditation. But to answer your question, yes, there is sound there also of different sounds which are heard and which are actually chanted during the meditation. Different colors are used there, different devatas are used in chakra meditation. Okay. There is, okay, there are two things, prajna and prajna is sthita prajna. See, prajna can be used either to call the person who is sleeping, prajna, or it can be, the same prajna can be used for the state of consciousness. So there are different, in different contexts, prajna can be used. It is unclear to me about the number of Karikas. Where do we find the Karikas if the Mandukya has only 12 slokas? Okay, Mandukya Karika, there is a book called as Mandukya Karika by Chinmaya Mission. Swami Chinmayananda has written this. I will talk more about it next week, because who is the writer of this Karikas? If you Google it, you will find the Mandukya Karika in the Google. It's not difficult. It's very, very popular. There are several people who have written commentaries on this. A lot of talks are available also. So it's available in the, if you search, you will find it. And I will talk more about this Karika, who has written this Karika, next week. Okay, Vijay, you have a question. Can you ask your question now? Yeah, Vijaya, can you ask? We have unmuted you.
Thank you. Hari Om, Jai Shri Krishna, Shekharji. Amazing session. It's not a question, it's just a confusion that when we really equate prajna to be the consciousness, awareness, and it's associated with that, the thin line between, that Turiya and the Om, right? That's where they were taking us to the Om, the Bindu Matra.
Yes.
That Turiyam. Why is it always associated to the Sushupti, that is a deep sleep, which actually is associated with ignorance? At the physical level too, you are unaware of the body, mind, intellect, because all of them gets resolved into ignorance, where you really do not know anything about yourself. Why is that state is always related to or connected to prajna?
Oh, very beautiful question. Oh, this is a very, very deep question, Vijay. Okay, why do we understand, why do we analyze the sleep state so much, and then say that there is Turiyam which is beyond the sleep state? Good question. This is okay. The answer to this is, first of all, we should understand the sleep state first. See, according to Mandukya Karika, according to the commentary of Gaudapada Acharya, what he says is that all of us who are jivas living in this body, we may be in this body as indwellers in this body, going through experiences in different countries. But ultimately, you must realize that this is not the real state of mind. So I have to draw my mind, my awareness has to go from the outer world into the inner world of consciousness. In order to draw that consciousness inward, because ultimately we must realize this whole thing is coming from something inside us only. All I'm experiencing, this world, this body I'm experiencing is just for a short period of time. This is limited by time. But there is something which is not limited by time. Therefore, in order to take us from the time to timelessness is the reason why we use the sleep state and then say, I am not the sleeper also. Because sleep is one of the experiences of all individuals. And according to the Mandukya Upanishad and the commentaries there, the sleep state is finally the state where it says that I am one with Ishvara. I merge with Ishvara. As a waker, when I am seeing the world, I am an individual. But in me, there is a power in me to realize that that entity which is the creator. So here the knowledge is given. You see, we cannot go to the sleep state and then realize in the sleep state, because it is a state of ignorance. Now, your question is very valid, but the answer actually the answer comes in Vichara Sagara. I'm not able to explain to you the whole concept, but I'll just tell you the gist of that answer, which is there in the Vichara Sagara text. The gist is that time and space, these two are concepts of the intellect. And they are not,
Amira.
the time and space, they are not the karanam for the universe. Normally, we think time is the karanam, is the cause of this entire universe. I was born on so-and-so date and you know, but there is something which is a cause of time. That cause of time is not in time, but it is in timeless. The cause of time itself is in timeless. Therefore, we have to bring the nirguna tattvam. Nirguna means that principle from which the time itself is born. That is what is called as Turiya. That is what is called as the ultimate, where we have to take our mind into. Cross the barrier. See, what happens is our identification with the gross body is very, very high. So once we go inner and inner, the job of the Upanishad is to tell us we are not this. So some people may think that whatever I am in my sleep state is my real state. That is what is one of the theories, one of the philosophies which is discussed in the Karikas. By Gaudapada Acharya, he is discussing, this is from Buddhism, this is from Gaudapada Acharya, says there is a school of thought which is called as Shunyavadi. That means everything comes from that timeless. Everything comes not from timeless, but from the non-existence. Okay, let me not go too far. To answer your question, yes, we need the sleep state to go and cross over to the ultimate Turiya, that Bindu. Without crossing the sleep state, you cannot reach the ultimate pure state of consciousness, which is my real state. That is my real home. Once we understand the Turiyam state is my real home, then my identification of the body and mind only gets dropped. The world will still continue. The world of experiences will continue, but I will not take them as real. Because I know the reality is in Turiya. I hope I am able to answer you, Vijay.
Thank you very, very much, Shekharji. Every time I always ask this and you answer me, but still I end up saying, again, I don't know, somewhere it relates.
It is ignorance. It is ignorance. This is what is called as ignorance. That is stopping you from crossing over, you know.
Yeah.
I hope the meditation sessions will be useful because, you see, what we cannot sometimes go through in the class through intellectual study, we can easily do it through meditation.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand your point, because that I think last part one session of
Dakshinamurti Stotram.
Dakshinamurti Stotram, sorry, you took us through this same concept. I remember asking, and you have also explained in the general session about all these three resolving into Vijnana, and Vijnana is also actually dissolving it.
Yes.
But when Vijnana goes to Anandamaya, Anandamaya is nothing but it's just a kiss of the ignorance.
Yes.
But you use the word that you have to go to the Nirvikara, where the vikara, time is also one kind of vikara, one type of vikara.
Yes, yes.
So I have to go across the vikara to avikara swarupa, which is
Correct.
the nirvikara. That is when I think if I, anyway in the sleep, I am let going of my body and intellect. But if I don't have the intellect, if I don't have the body, then with this ignorance around, how can I even cognize the Turiyam? That is always my question.
No, no, you don't need to cognize. It's only understanding in the class that is it. That's it. There is no
that is why maybe
cognition.
it's called anubhuti.
Yeah, that is aporoksha anubhuti. That's it. There is no thought which will come and say that this is it, because this is a pure experiential nature.
Thank you very, very much.
Okay.
Very deep. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else? Anybody else wants to ask any other question?
Shekharji,
Baba, yes.
the earlier part you put as the right eye is for meditation.
Yes.
And what does the role played by the left eye?
No, no. You see that. Okay. This is just a methodology how to meditate. You see, in scriptures they say that the right eye is the place where we get maximum amount of knowledge into our mind. The right eye. This is what the rishis have found. They say that if you meditate on the right eye, of in the waking state, they say that you will be able to realize that you are not this waker, because it's very powerful. See, basically there is a Shakti in us. That Shakti is there throughout this body. That power is there throughout this body. But the rishis have found that on the right eye, if you meditate, you will be able to realize it better than the left eye. But the left eye and the right eye are equal. We can see, yes, we can, for all practical purposes, they are all the same. But for meditation, the right eye is been pointed out by the rishis. There is no other significance apart from this.
But how to know whether we are meditating from the right eye or the left eye?
Which one?
How do we meditate on the right eye and not the left eye? But both eyes focus the same.
No, 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 no. You see, you just bring your awareness to the right eye. That's all. Like, for example, I close my eyes. I can think about my leg and say, bring the attention to my leg. Or I can say, bring my attention to my stomach. Or I can say, bring my attention to the forehead. Or I can say to myself, bring the attention to the heart. So this is just identifying. You just say, I'm now identifying with my leg. So automatically your thought will go to the leg. Similarly, you say, that is what it means.
So we meditate by saying that
yes,
we are meditating on the right eye.
That's correct. You just say to yourself, I'm now focusing on the right eye. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. That's why I was wondering.
Yeah, no problem. That's it. Anybody else has any other question?
Okay.
So next week we'll have a meditation session on Omkara, and we will gradually we'll rise in this. It will be initially a basic, and then we will gradually go up and up. It will be a graded meditation. Slowly, step by step, we'll grow in the thoughts of Omkara. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you and good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Shekharji,
Bolo.
earlier I saw this Jacqueline was trying to get you that the first page of what you put the Omkara, the picture, she couldn't write it down immediately. I thought.
Who is it? Who you want that Omkara, the chart, is it?
Yeah, the chart, because halfway only we.
Okay, no problem. I will send the chart to WhatsApp group. Everybody can have it.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Shekhar.
Yeah, Jacqueline.
Yeah, this is just follow about Bobo say that the two slide chart, the purple color and the BMI color, BMI Ohm chart.
Yeah, I will send it by WhatsApp, both the charts.
Yeah, just two chart because it's very good.
Okay, I will forward both the charts.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Hari Om, good night.
Thank you. So I should read halfway only. Is it?
Yeah, no problem.
So I wanted to have a full day.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful chart. It's yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Okay.
Thank you, Shekharji.
Thank you.